Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Divine Union podcast. And if this is your first time joining us today, welcome. So thrilled to have you here. Today, we're going to be talking about how to lead with story and with emotion and masterful communication so that you can deepen the level of influence that you have in partnership in all of your relationships and invite deeper connection and intimacy as a result. I love this so much because when it comes to relating, the levels of intimacy in romance in all of our relationships, the sky's the limit with what's possible. And I found in my work of relating in the work with my clients, when we master some of these conversational techniques and tools to build deeper resonance, to invite folks to let their guards down a bit, to open their hearts more, to share more of their human experience with us, it allows us to see and be seen and deepen the intimacy as a result. Oftentimes, why I love this idea of leading with story is oftentimes when someone in our life is sharing, particularly if they're sharing about a challenge, if they're sharing about something that's heavy, if it's our partner and we see that they're in pain and we want to help them, it's challenging to, or even if it's a loved one, a family member, it's challenging to be there because we want to fix it. We want to help them. We feel that pain often when we see someone that we love is in pain, when we see someone that we love is navigating something and we think that they could do it in a way that will bring them less pain, that will bring them more efficiency, that will bring them more success. If we see a pattern that they're getting in their own way, but it's not something that they see. And it can be painful to experience that. Or if partner maybe is venting about something and maybe it's a challenge for you to receive it when you're not able to offer feedback, or maybe if you offer feedback and you notice that they're feeling defensiveness, they're feeling closure based on your feedback. This is a good indicator and a good sign of, okay, how can I revise the way that I'm giving feedback so that it's more likely to be received? And this way you can have a greater impact on your partner. You can have a greater impact in the dynamics, the direction that the relationship is taking, the direction the intimacy is taking. And you can help them be a better person. You can help each other thrive. You can uplift each other. That's the whole goal here. This is why I love working with the communication, because if we can't have an impact, we feel dead inside. I feel dead inside if I can't have an impact in my relationships. If I can't be the older sister that I always wanted to be, that I know I deserve to be, if my siblings don't listen to me, if my parents don't receive me, if my friends don't value me and want my opinion on things, if my partners don't respect me and admire me and come to me when they need support or see me as a source of safety and anchor for them, it feels painful. This is why I love working with communication, because when we do, we can create these conditions of safety where mutual safety, mutual admiration, and trust truly thrive. That's what we all want in all of our relationships. And so I'm going to share with you a couple different conversational tools that can help empower you to create that sense of safety for the other. And that's going to invite you to have a deeper influence and thus deepen the intimacy as a result in all of your connections. To set up for the first tool, the point of human relating. Yeah, when I was sharing about how it's challenging to not want to jump in, especially when someone we love is sharing about something painful or if we see they're getting in their own way. Because naturally we want to fix. We want to fix. We want to help. We want to solve. This can sometimes work, but it can also create closure in the other person. because what can happen is the other person can feel over time that they don't want to share more of themselves because they feel like shame for sharing it and having you be the one to give them the answers, to help them, to guide them, to fix them, even if they may desire it. It creates this hierarchy, this power dynamic that isn't sexy for anyone in relationship, because we don't feel desire for someone where we're constantly having to fix them or help them or guide them. It doesn't feel empowering. And this is whether it's your romantic partner or whether it's a friend. Think about it. For your friends, you want friends that inspire you, yeah, that enliven you, that make you better, where you have mutual, maybe you both give each other advice here and there, but maybe you both empower each other because you know that each other has their own answers and they're sovereign, whole, fully whole beings. But they care about your input, but they don't need it. And that's a different energy. It's that subtlety that's really, really sexy in any dynamic. And so instead of going to fix mode, what I find creates the deepest intimacy and what has for me in all of my relationships is through resonance. When it's that feeling of, you get me, I get you. I see you. I've been where you are. And that creates a bond that is unbreakable, where it's like, oof, we've both have been through loss. We both have been through grief. We both know what it feels like to be in the complete darkness, surrendering to the universe. I am yours, God, universe, source, higher energy. Show me, lead me, guide me to be in that state of the unknown. And when you can be with someone or talk with someone who can deeply relate, that feels so good. And so I want you to always think about building resonance over savior, over fixing, over helping. So how do we do that? Now, one approach through that is storytelling. So for example, this happens in my life. Someone I love lost their job. And so how do because I could tell them what to do. Oh, this is what you should do. And you got to look at these avenues and surrender to the mystery. And now it's an opportunity to tune into what feels aligned. It's a sign from the universe, all this stuff. But they're going to be like, stop coaching me. I don't want that right now, Nicola. So instead, how do I use story of a time I lost a job? And maybe if you haven't lost a job, find the common ground from a time I made a pivot in my career, from a time that I completely shifted and was in the unknown. And how did I navigate it? What did I feel? First, find the common ground. Ooh, I know how challenging it is. I know how confusing it is. I know how frustrating it is. I know when you don't get it and you feel like, why me? Why is this happening to me? I don't even trust you, God. I'm mad at you, God. Like, what are the feels that you felt in that moment so that you can connect with them at a soul level of what they're experiencing? And then it's like, this is what I did in that time. And this might not align for you, partner, friend, family member, colleague. But for me, it was an opportunity after I got through the sticky space. It was this opportunity to just shift in my life, to figure out what it is I'm good at. What am I obsessed with? What do I love so much? And from there, I pivoted and I did this, and then I did this, and then this opened up for me, and this opportunity, and this synchronicity. And it's through story that we then get excited about what's possible for us. You know, when someone tells you a magical story about a wild synchronicity that they had in life, and that just excites you so much, and joy starts to come to your energy, and your heart opens, and you're like, wow, if they experienced this, then what's in it for me? This is the power of Joe Dispenza's work. And all of this manifesting, the 5D, the energy, when you get to hear people's stories of how they surrender and come into abundance, of how they've healed their body and mind, it plants that seed for you. And so when you do that through your power of story, it's going to invite someone to want to share more of themselves with you. It's going to invite them to feel more open to continue to share because they don't have to feel on the defense with you because they know they feel seen, because they know you've been there and they know that you're not teaching them, that you don't think that you're better, that there's no power dynamics, but you're just sharing. And you pause and you don't invest too much, don't attach to the outcome of how they receive it, but you share. And if you're not too attached, it's like you pause, that doesn't resonate for me. Okay, great. But they'll still think about it. It's still going to wander in their mind. It's going to come in there from time to time. That's how the mind works. And so it's not attaching, it's through that power of story. Now, another approach is through curiosity. It's through asking powerful questions, prompting reflection on there. And that's going to invite them to share more of themselves with you. That's also going to deepen your intimacy, and that's going to deepen your ability to influence over time, because trust is built through resonance and trust is built through asking questions. Tell me more about that. Even if you just say that over and over again. Oh, interesting. Tell me more. What does that activate? How does that land for you? Uh, why did you make that choice? I'm so curious. Help me understand so I can feel you more deeply. Why is that important for you? I'm trying to keep these babies short because I know our attention spans are short, but I could go on for hours about this. So it's using that curiosity, and that's going to prompt reflection. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I noticed that when I made that comment, you responded to me with a bit of a tone. Uh, Tell me, you know, what did that activate something for you? Help me understand so I can learn. What about my tone? Did you not enjoy? And that creates safety for them to want to share more of themselves, and they're going to open and they're going to feel less on the defense and less closed just by you asking the question to wanting to understand. And it's these subtleties of communication that I love so much. It's these subtleties of communication that I dig into in depth in the communication codes, which is my new online course that I just launched. It's these incredible 4 modules, in depth modules, about 2 hours of content with live modules or self-led modules from me with integrated practices that you can do coming out of it, with workbooks for reflection. I don't want to say work because it's not work. It's inner excitement, inner development booklets for reflection with practices to do in a live Q&A call with me in June. For those who take advantage of this first round of the self-led course, there's a live call to honor the launch of this program, which I couldn't be more excited about. And it's a great entryway for you to get a feel into the work at a low cost. It's only $177 for this first round. A steal for the value. Literally, so much value in there, but it's all about these subtleties of communication, because communication is all about nuance. And when we're not attuned to the differences in the nuance, we're not impactful in the ways we desire. And so it's learning how to read nuance and understand nuance, and when to use this tool, and when to have range in your communication, when this moment needs this tool, when this moment needs this tool, when to bring in humor, when to bring in play, when to bring in seriousness, when to use curiosity, when to storytell, when to use intrigue, how your body language, nonverbals play into it. So we talked about storytelling. We talked about curiosity, and I'm just going to drop you with one more tool. So it's not too much for this one episode. And that is humor. I love humor as a powerful tool to lighten the mood. It's not always an appropriate time to use humor, but knowing that it can be something that you can access. And of course, it takes practice. It's what I do in my one-on-one and my couples work, of how to bring in humor, especially when there's crunchier, stickier dynamics. because it's a powerful way to invite someone into having a hard conversation or to looking at themselves in a new way, having more consciousness, reflection about their behaviors. But it's like, okay, how do you use humor to illuminate a dynamic of what is happening? So, for example, if mm, maybe every time that you try to have a conversation with partner about a conflict or something that's alive for you, maybe they avoid, they close, they ignore, they talk about something else. They're not actually willing to like go there. How do you illuminate the behavior without saying, whenever I try to bring up a conflict, you're never available. You don't go there, which you can be direct. And sometimes it also is valuable to be direct. But what I love about humor is the point is not to avoid, but we use humor to create an opening for connection and an opening for a deeper conversation. So it could be something like, how do we illuminate that behavior, that dynamic? What do you think about? What do I think about? If I'm continuously coming up to someone, but I'm not getting a response, it's like, ooh, I feel like I'm at a brick wall. I'm knocking at this brick wall and there's no door. I can't find the door. No one's opening the door. If you're watching the video, this is a really good imagery we have here. I'm miming a little bit. Yeah. So then it's like, ooh, babe, where's the door? I'm stuck behind the brick wall. I'm trying to get through to my lover and I can't. Now that says I'm trying to communicate and I can't. It's pretty pointed, but it's subtle. It's playful. It's more inviting. And it's like less attached. So it's less like, give me a response now. Why aren't you connecting with me or talking to me about this? And verse, it's like, then I'm going to say that and I'm going to pause. And maybe they'll get a laugh out of it. Maybe they won't. Who wouldn't laugh? You be miming and you're pretending you're at the brick wall trying to connect with your lover. Oh, poor me. I just want to talk to you, baby. That's sexy. That's playful. That's fun. And so it's using humor like that in these different moments to speak to the behavior over the action and to illuminate what's happening. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to end it here because I've been having fun doing these. I don't even know where we are in time, but keeping it short, keeping it bite size. So if you're listening to this where you're at the grocery store, or you're going for a short run, or you're on the way to work, whatever it might be, doing your yoga routine, uh, it's just enough to let it land and to simmer. Yeah. I can't wait to hear how this lands for you. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, drop me a line. I always love to hear feedback by way of you incredible people tuning in. Your energy feeds my energy, keeps me going, keeps me doing what I do. That fuego's there regardless. But of course, I really love to hear feedback. And yeah, share this with someone whom you feel would gain value from this episode. That's how we spread the mission deeper consciousness around our communication, more conscious connection, and bringing that to the world. And this is how we all elevate. So it's been such a pleasure. Thank you for tuning in with me, beautiful people, to this week's episode of Divine Union Podcast. I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, may all your unions be divine.